This is cognitive thread, and what I am about to show you took researchers decades to figure out. It is about new research shows fashion's plus-size models are still smaller than the average American woman. The typical female fashion model's body has remained exceptionally thin and largely unchanged over the past 25 years. And the answer is nothing like what you have been told. What if I told you the fashion industry has been lying to you about what plus size actually means, and your brain is helping them get away with it? Here's something wild. A major study just came out showing that plus-size models in fashion are still way smaller than the average American woman. We're talking drastically smaller. But here's the crazy part. Most of you probably don't even realize it when you see them. Why? Because of how your brain works. And today, we're breaking down the psychology of why the fashion industry can fool you so easily. Let's start with a scenario. Scenario 1, the magazine test. Imagine you're scrolling through a fashion magazine. You see an ad for clothing with a model labeled plus size. She looks fuller than traditional runway models. What do? Think, finally, real representation. B, look more critically at her actual size. C, not think about it much at all. If you picked A or C, you've fallen into something psychologists call contrast effect. Researcher Thomas Gilovich discovered that your brain doesn't evaluate things in absolute terms. It evaluates them relative to what you just saw. When you see a plus-size model right after seeing a size 0 runway model, your brain says, wow, that's so much bigger. Even if she's still way below average, your brain isn't comparing her to real women. It's comparing her to the other models. That's why the industry's trick works so well. Scenario 2, the store window. You're walking past a clothing store. You see a mannequin in the window wearing a plus-size outfit. You think about buying it, but when you try it on later, it fits nothing like you expected. What's happening? You've just experienced what psychologists call body size distortion. Research by Dr. Melissa Eckert shows that when we're constantly exposed to thin bodies, we literally start to perceive normal bodies as larger than they actually are. Your internal reference point shifts. What's average starts to feel big. What's big starts to feel enormous. The fashion industry has been training your eyes for decades. They've made you see the world through a warped lens. Plus-size clothing companies are using this against you. They know your perception is already messed up, so they can use smaller models and you'll think it's accurate. Scenario 3, the caption trick. You see a photo of a model online. The caption says, real body, real size, real woman. You feel good about the brand. You trust them more, but you don't actually know her measurements. What's going through your brain? This is called the halo effect. Psychologist Edward Thorndike found that when we like one thing about a person or brand, we automatically assume all their other traits are good too. One honest caption makes you think the whole company is honest. The fashion industry uses emotional language to make you lower your guard. They say the right things, they use the right hashtags, they talk about body positivity, but the actual models? Still tiny. Your brain trusts the message so much that it stops fact-checking the visuals. Scenario 4, the comparison game. You look at a plus-size model's photo, then you look at yourself in the mirror. You feel bad. You think, I'm so much bigger than that. But statistically, you're probably closer to average than she is. Why do you feel worse about yourself? Psychologist Leon Festinger's social comparison theory explains this. You don't compare yourself to averages or statistics. You compare yourself to the people you see around you. And the people you see in media are not average. They're curated, filtered, edited, professional. Your brain is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. Compare yourself to your peers to figure out your social status. But your peers aren't real. They're illusions. And your brain doesn't know the difference. Scenario 5, the trust collapse. You finally learn that plus-size models are still way smaller than average women. You feel angry, betrayed. You want to stop following these brands. But then, a few weeks later, you see another ad and you forget about it again. Why can't you stay mad? This is called motivated reasoning. Your brain wants to believe what's convenient. Staying angry takes energy. Staying suspicious is exhausting. It's psychologically easier to just accept the new normal and move on. The fashion industry knows this too. They count on your attention span. They count on you forgetting. They count on you being tired of being mad about it. Here's what's really happening. Your brain isn't broken. It's just built for a different world. You evolved to trust your eyes and compare yourself to people around you. But the people around you aren't real anymore. They're manufactured. They're designed. For 25 years, the fashion industry has kept model sizes essentially the same. But they've rebranded them. They've added new language, body positivity, inclusivity, real women. But the bodies stayed thin. Your brain can't detect this lie because your perception has already been warped by decades of exposure. You're looking through a funhouse mirror and you don't even know it. The research is clear. Plus-size models are not average. They're not even close. But because of how your brain processes contrast, comparison, and emotional messaging, you probably didn't feel shocked when you heard that. You might have even thought, well, yeah, obviously. That's the scariest part. The lie isn't shocking anymore. It's normal. So here's my question for you. Now that you know this, what are you going to do about it? Will you start paying attention to actual measurements? Will you unfollow brands that use these tricks? Or will your brain do what it does best? Forget about this by tomorrow and go back to normal. Stay tuned, because next video, we're showing you the exact psychological tactics the beauty industry uses to keep you insecure. And it's way darker than you think.